الحمد لله رب العالمين والعاقبة للمتقين ولا عدوان إلا على الظالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين وعلى آله وأصحابه أجمعين ومن تبعهم بإحسان إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد إن شاء الله سجيك الروسة يا MC وأنا شيخ أنا حراك بسوي هذا program. The last lecture will be from our Sheikh Rakib Abdul, who is the Deputy Da'wah Officer at Jamia Mosque, bi'idhnillahi ta'ala. So let us listen attentively for whatever he has brought to us. Jazakumullah khair. فليتفضل مشكورا مأجورا.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا وسيئات أعمالنا. من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له. وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله. أشهد أنه بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة فهدى الناس من الضلالة ونجاهم من الجهالة وبصرهم من العمى فأخرجهم من الظلمات إلى النور. فجزاه الله خير ما جزى به نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن قومه. ثم أما بعد, tunamshukuru Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala kwa kutupatia fursa ya kujumuika hapa kwa siku kama hii ya leo ili kuweza kukumbushana mambo ambayo yanaambatana na dini yetu. Samahani alivyosema Sheikh kwamba mimi ni shekhe lakini bado ningali mwanafunzi. Tutajifunza kwa mashekhe zetu. Respected brothers and sisters, I'm very much privileged to be invited this forum this afternoon, and inshallah in the next few minutes the topic that I would like to remind each one of us about this very afternoon, it concerns one of the things which the ulama, they refer to them al-umur allati ammat biha al-balwa. Umur allati ammat biha al-balwa. The things or some of the issues which have become widely spread across the world this time. And that is none other than at-tabarruj was-sufur. At-tabarruj was-sufur, these are two Arabic terminologies which the ulama, when they try to define them, they say at-tabarruj hiya ibda'u zina. Ibda'u zina min az-ziyan allati yajibu hajbuha. They say the tabarruj is when you reveal certain parts of your body which you are required to cover them. That is a tabarruj. Wa amma sufur, and that is ibda'u al-wajh aw al-kaffayn, to reveal either your face or your hands. Now, why is it so important that we discuss this matter today? Number one, I said it is one of the things that has really spread across the world today. Not just among the non-Muslims, but even we the Muslims who are being affected. And to this, you find that there's a lot of evils that are being committed out of this particular thing. And we as Ummati Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wasallam, remember we are responsible. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he talks about Ummati Muhammad, he says, Kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat linnasi ta'muruna bil ma'rufi wa tanhawna 'anil munkari wa tu'minuna billah. We are the best of the nations. The Prophet, when he counts, he says, we are the last nation on this face of the world. We are the 70th. Out of all the remaining 69 nations that came before us, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he raises our levels up by saying we are the best. Being best because of three things. One, he says, ta'muruna bil ma'ruf. You enjoin what is right. You remind each other on doing what is right. Ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhawna 'anil munkar. And you also forbid evil. That's the second quality. For this ummah to be considered the best of the rest of the ummahs, one is that we need to stand up for this responsibility, and we do what? And we should enjoin what is right. And secondly, forbid what is evil. And thirdly, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, وَتُؤْمِنُونَ بِاللَّهِ. Now, let's listen to some of the things, or what are the steps which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala took against those people who neglected such responsibility. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلِ لُعِنَ الَّذِينَ كَفَرُوا مِنْ بَنِي إِسْرَائِيلَ عَلَى لِسَانِ دَاوُدَ وَعِيسَى بِنِ مَرْيَمَ ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَصَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ كانوا لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه لبئس ما كانوا يفعلون. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala informs us that لعن الذين كفروا, those who disbelieved, amongst who? من بني إسرائيل, amongst the Bani Israel, the children of the Israelites. They were cast through the tongues of their two messengers, Lisani Dawood wa Isa bin Maryam, through the tongue of Nabiullah Dawood and Nabiullah Isa bin Maryam alayhim as-salam. ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَصَوْا. The nation, or the children of the Israelites, they were cast by their own anbiya, by their own rusul. Why? ذَلِكَ بِمَا عَصَوْا وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. Because they rebelled, because they went against the command of Allah, and they were transgressors. وَكَانُوا يَعْتَدُونَ. كَانُوا لَا يَتَنَاهَوْنَ عَنْ مُنْكَرٍ فَعَلُوهُ. The form of their transgression was what? They never used to forbid one another from any evil that was being committed by their fellow nations. لا يتناهون عن منكر فعلوه. They never used to forbid each other from any evil that was happening in their midst. Now, for this reason, they were cast. And similarly, if we Ummati Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, we do not come out openly to talk about such things that are maybe affecting our society, then what will happen is that the same curse is going to befall us. And by this, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he talked generally that we need to command what is right and we have to forbid what is evil. The Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he went down to give us some of the strategies that we can use. And he says that man ra'a minkum munkaran falyughayyirhu biyadihi. Whoever amongst you, if you witness any evil being committed, then the first step that you need to take is what? فَلْيُغَيِّرُهُ بِيَدِهِ. You have to change it using your hands. By the hands here, the ulama, they say al-istita'a, the authority. If you have that power, whoever who is committing this evil and you have authority over them, then you're bound. You have to make sure that you restrict them, even if it means physically. But only if you have that authority. وَإِن لَمْ تَسْتَطِعْ. does not stop there. Don't say that now it is said the first step is you need to stop it if you have that istita'a, the authority. Now I don't have that authority, then let whatever that is happening continue. No, you are still responsible. وَإِلَّمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. You have to use what? Use your tongue. If you're not able to use your hands, then use your tongue. How do you use the tongue? By talking about it, explaining to people the evil or the effects that are associated with whatever practice that people are doing. Talk about it. Keep on talking. Talk and talk and talk. And وَإِلْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. But if you cannot also use this second method, method number one is use of hand. But to who? The person who has the authority. Method number two is to use the tongue. Now who is to use the tongue? Again, the ulama, they talk about what? أُدْعُ إِلَى سَبِيلِ رَبِّكَ بِالْحِكْمَةِ وَالْمَوْعِظَةِ الْحَسَنَةِ. If you want to correct any mistake that is being perpetuated, you have to use wisdom. And this wisdom does not come just by itself, but also you have to do what? Al-basira. You should have knowledge of what you're going to talk to people about. If you stand to warn people about zina, you have to be well equipped, knowing all the effects of zina, even if not all. But you can list some of the effects of zina to be able to convince the person who is doing such acts to be able to avoid. Method number three, the Prophet says, وَإِلَّمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. But if you cannot use your tongue, then what should you use? فَبِقَلْبِهِ. Use your heart. But he says, وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. By using the heart, the last method, it is the weakest form of Iman. But at least you can have the weakest form of Iman. It's better than nothing. Because in another hadith, the Prophet goes on saying, وَلَيْسَ مِنْ وَرَاءِ ذَلِكَ الشَّيْءٍ. If you're not able to hate whatever evil, whatever shar, whatever munkar that is happening before your eyes, you do not hate it. Neither do you stop it. Neither do you talk about it negatively, as in you are trying to correct people. Then the Prophet ﷺ says, beyond that there is no Iman. How do you change any evil using your heart? The ulama, they say by hating the act. We do not hate the Muslim. Don't hate a Muslim for what they are doing. Do not hate an individual. No. Rather hate whatever evil they are committing. Because the moment you come to hate the person themselves, then it becomes personal. It becomes a personal affair. And when you want to correct somebody, do not get personal. Because if you get personal, by doing da'wah, there are so many challenges. And some of these challenges is that when you are told about the أربع مسائل التي يجب على الإنسان معرفتها, the ulama, they say العلم والعمل به والدعوة إليه والصبر على الأذى فيه. There are four main things that each and every Muslim need to know. One is al-ilm. You should have knowledge. Knowledge of your religion. Knowledge of the deen is compulsory. That's when the Prophet said, طَلَبُ الْعِلْمِ فَرِيضَةٌ عَلَى كُلِّ مُسْلِمٍ. Seeking knowledge is compulsory upon each and every Muslim. Which knowledge is this? That is ma'rifatullah, ma'rifatu din al-Islam bil-adillah, ma'rifatu al-Nabiy Muhammadin sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You should have the knowledge. Act according to that knowledge that you've acquired and propagate the knowledge. Know, act according to the knowledge and spread that knowledge. And number four, the ulama, they say as-sabru على الأذى فيه. By propagating the knowledge, there are so many challenges that come in. What do you need to equip yourself with? That is, exercise some patience. I'm telling you about, I was talking about how to change any evil. Then you said, when you hate the person, you become personal. If you hate the act, at least you're still sober. Because when you hate the person, you might get disappointed. Then you become frustrated. You try talking to the person, don't do this, try to do this, don't do this, try to do this. But if you get so much personal, it's like your own initiative. It's like your own, that's what you want them to do, not what Allah wants them to do. When they go against your advice, what will happen is that you're going to be disappointed, and then you start fighting. That person will no longer want to associate themselves with you, and you lose the opportunity of guiding them next time. Take the example of Fir'aun alayhi la'ana. Fir'aun, what he did, he claimed, Ana rabbukumul a'la. I'm your highest Lord. Nobody ever said that except Fir'aun. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when he was sending Nabiullah Musa alayhi salam to Fir'aun, what did he tell him to do? اذهبا إلى فرعون فقولا له قولا لينا. Go to Fir'aun, address him in a polite manner. Go to Fir'aun and address him in a polite manner. That is Fir'aun. This person that you're trying to correct, they have not claimed that hum ar-Rabb al-A'la. Wal-'iyadhu billah. Now, why do you need to use a harsh approach towards them? So, that is the beginning. That we need to realize it is our responsibility as Ummati Muhammadin sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as believers in this ummah, that we need to speak about any evil that is happening in our midst. Why? Because failure to do such is that we stand to be cast by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not turn a blind eye. If wrong is being committed, and we said you have that authority, use your authority. You don't have that authority, you have that knowledge, talk about it. And you cannot talk about it because perhaps the person who is committing such evils, they are of higher status than you. You cannot get closer to them. For example, like the leaders. Again, the ulamas, they've set a right approach on how to correct our leaders, not through demonstrations. Not through walking out on them, not through rebelling against them, not through carrying weapons against them. No. All these are un-Islamic. Always you have to use basira, get somebody who can get closer to them, and you do what? They are the ones to advise them accordingly. Now, talking about at-tabarruj, the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam, he mentioned that he never left behind any temptation, something which is more tempting to the men than the women. He never left behind anything more tempting to men than women. Now, if women are so tempting, that's why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He is commanding the women to do what? They have to dress appropriately. Before going deep to the women's side, let's not forget the issue of at-tabarruj, dressing inappropriately. In Islam, even to the male, it is also emphasized. Why? Because sometimes some of our sisters, they feel offended that most of the time we keep on addressing sisters to dress modestly. How about the brothers? Because they too have feelings, by the way. If you dress up in an appropriate manner, they look at you, they come to admire you. So either way, we have to speak about it. As I am addressing this issue of at-tabarruj, however much I'm going to keep on mentioning the women mostly, but let it be understood that I'm also addressing our brothers. That when you are dressing up, you need to dress up in a way that is more appropriate and a way that is more respectable. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He tells the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Ya ayyuhan nabi, qul lil mu'minina yaghuddu min absarihim wa yahfadhu furujahum. O Prophet of Allah, tell the believing men to lower their gaze and to safeguard their private parts. ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ. That is more pure for them. إِنَّ اللَّهَ خَبِيرٌ بِمَا يَصْنَعُونَ. The first command is being addressed or directed to the men. قُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. The first command, to lower the gaze. يَحْفَظُوا فُرُوجَهُمْ. To safeguard their private parts. ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَهُمْ. That is more pure for them. The two commands of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. غَضُّ الْبَصَرِ وَحِفْظُ الْفَرْجِ. غَضُّ الْبَصَرِ, to lower the gaze. If, for example, a lady or a sister passes before you and they are dressed in an inappropriate manner, in a way that is not respectable, so what are you bound to do? غض البصر. Don't go on saying that now tayari ameshavaa, wacha si tuangalie. Bali tuna msemo ambao mara nyingi tutumia eti kwamba macho hayana pazia. Ikiwa macho hayana pazia, yatilie pazia wewe mwenyewe. Haya macho yasiyokuwa na pazia ni wewe mwenyewe uyatilie pazia. Na utatiliaje macho yako pazia? Kupitia imani ulionayo katika nafsi yako. There's a Swahili saying, for those who do not understand Kiswahili, a Swahili proverb that says, the eyes have got no curtains. And we say, if your eyes have got no curtains, still does not justify for you that whatever that passes before you, then you're allowed to look. You're allowed to enjoy it. Kula kwa macho. No way. Hakuna chakula kwa macho. Rather, what you need to do is do what? You are the one to draw that curtain. And what is that curtain, by the way? It is the iman within your chest. That iman will cause you to lower your gaze. Because remember, the Prophet ﷺ says, لَكَ الْأُولَى وَعَلَيْكَ الثَّانِيَةِ. لَكَ الْأُولَى وَعَلَيْكَ الثَّانِيَةِ. The first gaze, you may be forgiven. But for the second gaze, it comes with consequences. And then, the human being, because they are so very smart. كَانَ الْإِنسَانُ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. What you do is, the moment you see for the first time, you do not drop your eyes. You gaze. You put your eyes there for 5 minutes, entertaining yourself, and then you say, what? I only looked once. No way. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows about our intentions. It is the intention. Like al-ula, the first gaze you may be forgiven. By bad luck, it happened that you saw. What you need to do is, the moment you realize it's something that you're not allowed to see, you have to turn your face away. غض البصر وحسن الفرج. تحسين الفرج, to safeguard our private parts. There are so many ways, and we'll not go deep into that for today. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us that for the men, the moment you're able to take these two steps, من غض البصر وتحسين الفرج, Allah says, ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَكُمْ. That is more pure for you. You become pure. Pure in iman. Pure in personality. Pure in your mental. Because what we don't understand is that most of the haram relationships, they are frustrating. They are frustrating. most of the haram relationships. You relate to this girl. You relate to this girl and you're not married. Remember, you're only frustrating yourself, be it the guy or the lady. Because at the end of the day, you're going to lose focus. If you are studying, then you find that most of the time you get distracted. Keep on thinking about that other person who maybe doesn't give a damn about you. But all your concentration is about her. You don't sleep, you don't eat, you don't study, just thinking of that person. And there are no guarantees whatsoever that you'll end up marrying her. ذَلِكَ أَزْكَى لَكُمْ. That is purer for you. Lower your gaze and safeguard your what? Safeguard your private part. For the believing women, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala immediately in the next verse he says, وَقُلْ لِلْمُؤْمِنَاتِ يَغْضُضْنَ مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِنَّ وَيَحْفَظْنَ فُرُوجَهُنَّ. The same command. Tell the believing sisters to lower their gaze as well as to do what? To protect their what? Their chastity. وَلَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ. Allah goes on further to expound. For the men, he just gave us two commands. For the sisters, he goes on to explain more. لَا يُبْدِينَ زِينَتَهُنَّ. The believing women should not reveal their beauty. They should not reveal their beauty. إِلَّا مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا. Except that is which is openly seen. This part, the ulama, they have slightly two opinions. One, they say, مَا ظَهَرَ مِنْهَا هي الوجه والكفين. They say what can be seen, it is the face as well as the palms. They're not talking about the ankles. The face, ما ظهر, and the palms. And that's why you can see that some scholars, they are never offended addressing our sisters when they don't have their niqabs on, because of this opinion. But the second opinion, they say no. Ma dhahara minha is that if she is going to wear whatever that will still be attractive, not something that it is her intention. Ma dhahara minha, they say it is not about the face or about the kaf. But all these has to be what? Has to be covered. Now, because I'm running short of time, I think I'll skip this point and go to the next verse. When Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, again still addressing the believers, especially the women, he says that ذَلِكَ أَدْنَا أَن يُعْرَفْنَا فَلَا يُؤْذَيْنَ. For the believing women, they have to lower their veils. يُدْنِينَ عَلَيْهِنَّ مِنْ جَلَبِيبِهِنَّ. They have to draw their veils over the upper part of the body. They have to cover up completely. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala gives us two reasons. ذَلِكَ أَدْنَا أَن يُعْرَفْنَا. One, it is easier for them to be recognized. So the way our sisters dress, that is our identity. If you see them dressing that way, then you can easily identify them to be believing women or believing sisters. أَدْنَا أَن يُعْرَفْنَا. That is one. And then second part that I would like to request our sisters to listen carefully to this. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, فَلَا يُؤْذَيْنَ. They can never be mistreated. أَدْنَا أَن يُعْرَفْنَا فَلَا يُؤْذَيْنَ. They can be easily recognized and known to be believing women. And secondly, they cannot be harassed sexually. If any sister feels proud that a guy tries to get her attention, then she is more in morals. Okay. If somebody respects you, they will dignify you they will not try to get you into having haram relationships with them. Now finally, when the ulamas talk about at-tabarruj, one is what we've just mentioned about the dress code, and they go beyond. They say among the tabarruj, there are so many forms of at-tabarruj. The other way is the al-ikhtilat, the mixing, intermixing of the two genders freely. That also falls under at-tabarruj, whereby, yes, the brother may be dressed in a respectful manner. The sister could be also dressing in a respectful manner. But the moment the two of them get together without a third person, then what happens? The Prophet ﷺ says, whenever a male and a female come together, the only third companion they're having is who? ثالثهما الشيطان. It will be the shaitan. That still falls under what? At-tabarruj. So as believing brothers and sisters, we have to limit our free mixing of the two genders together. Just stick to the boundaries, the Islamic boundaries. Know that this one Islamically is not allowed. Never mind what other people are doing. Because what we've realized is that most of us nowadays, we are easily influenced in a negative manner. Just because people are doing certain things, then for you to fit in that society, you also want to join them. No, it is totally wrong. If you cannot beat them, you should not join them. Rather, you do what? Avoid them. You cannot kill the lion. Do you join the lion in the fight? No. You run away from the lion because this is Naru Jahannam. What do you need to do? Keep far away from it. Because, finally, the ulama, they have a very beautiful saying, and whenever I get the opportunity to address the youths, and if I'm given such a topic, I always like to mention this. They say, for one to get into zina, it's very easy. Very easy. They say it starts with salamun, no, ibtisamatun, fasalamun, fakalamun, faliqa'un, la, famaw'idun faliqa'. You want to write it down? No problem. Because the moment I had it also, I was eager, I wrote it down. That's why I can never forget it. Ibtisamatun begins with what? A smile. You smile, she smiles back. Now you get the attention. Once you get the attention, fasalam, you go to what? Salam. You say, Assalamu alaikum, sister. Assalamu alaikum, brother. Salam. Ibtisama fasalam. From the smile, you get the attention. Now you come to what? To the greetings. From the greetings, and then what happens? You get to listen to her voice, mashallah. Fakalam. The door has already been opened. Kalam, you start talking. You exchange context. You start communicating. Now communicate. WhatsApp, whatever. Now communicate. Ibtisamatun fasalamun fakalamun famaw'id. Through the talking, certain things come out. You realize, wow, we need to go beyond. Let's meet. Maw'id, you make a date and you meet. When you meet, faliqa'un, and then all the rest happens. La qaddar Allah. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala safeguard us from all these. Wallahu a'lam. Jazakum Allah khair. Subhanakallah wa bihamdik. Ashhadu an la ilaha illa ant. Nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk. Okay, my brother has requested me that there are some of us who are going to sit for their final exam next week. Cynthia, next week. So he has requested that to make a special dua for them. شيخ أنت كيف؟ خير. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على أشرف المرسلين نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم. اللهم سهل لنا ما نريد ونجنا مما نخاف بفضلك يا لطيف. اللهم سهل لنا ما نريد ونجنا مما نخاف بفضلك يا لطيف. ربي يسر ولا تعسر وتمم بالخير. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا. أنت تجعل الحزن إن شئت سهلا. سهل لنا أمورنا كلها ولا تكلنا إلى أنفسنا طرفة عين. اللهم سهل لهم اختبارهم. اللهم اجعلهم من الناجحين فيها. اللهم ذكرهم ما نسوا. اللهم علمهم. اللهم عنا على ذكرك وشكرك وحسن عبادتك برحمتك أرحم الراحمين. اللهم انفعنا بما علمتنا وعلمنا ما ينفعنا يا رب العالمين. وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله.
I think that is highly concentrated dua. MashaAllah, 4th years, we wish you all the best as your brothers. You are doing your end of year exams, inshallah, bil khair. Next, we have a question answer session for like 30 minutes, and inshallah, the event will be over. We request you to stop sleeping, those ones who are dozing, please. After eating a special biryani, I think you should be very active. Okay, so we will start with Sheikh Mohammed Abdullah. There are questions which have been sent through the email, or I think the Google Drive that was, I think, being circulated. The other thing, the questions, I think we have summarized. We have filtered. Some of them, I think, according to when they were too personal, asking for, I think, hand in marriage for some of the scholars' daughters or something like that. Anyway, it's acceptable. That is the right way to go anyway. So, they are, I think, different in nature. We will, inshallah, do what we can for the time being. I think whatever Sheikh has given us as the last, I think, thing the ulamas usually talk about, that process, some of us, we should not go and implement. It was being preached against. Don't try that method. One of the last steps, I remember, one of the Sheikhs was talking about, he said the last is what you call explosion. The last one, I think it's really dangerous. So inshallah, bil khair, we will start with the question. We will ask maybe the officials to organize the podium. Maybe this be removed for the. I will just be. Bismillah. The first Sa'il is asking, Sheikh, Assalamu alaikum, Sheikh, what is the format for paying zakah for a person who is like earning a gross salary and has no businesses? Like maybe somebody is a doctor or a teacher and is being employed. Earning just a salaried person.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. The question on zakah is confusing to many, because in some avenues you find that some of the sheikhs, when being asked about zakah, they say that whatever you save, even if it is 10 bob, then you are supposed to pay zakah after a year. But you find that zakah as a form of ibadah is just like any other ibadah. It has conditions which need to be fulfilled before one is to give. And the condition on zakah, the first one is obvious, being a Muslim. And then there is nisab, which the Sheikh talked in the morning, Sheikh Jamaluddin. That is the minimum savings you have. And then there is another condition of hawl. It should pass a year of the lunar calendar. So if the nisab is, scholars have differed, but it is 82.5, 83, 85 grams of gold. And what you are supposed to do if you have saving, for example, as we said, you earn 1M, bi-idhnillahi ta'ala, and that is after KRA has taken the 33%, you have 1M. You have expenses, house rent, you have a wife, you have children, school fees, food. Therefore, for example, in the first month you save around 100K. And then second month, another 100K. Therefore, these 100K should accumulate till it reaches the minimum. Minimum to buy 85 grams of gold, 22 karat or 24 karat. And then if now you have that minimum, for example, today is which date? No? We say lunar calendar. I don't want 22nd. Which day is today? Now, which day is today? Today is 28th, just like the Sheikh has said, 28th of Jumad al-Akhirah. Therefore, for example, on 28th of Jumad al-Akhir, you have an amount saving to buy 85 grams of gold. And then you have more savings in between. Till it reaches next year, 1445. So, Hijri. Next year is 1445 Hijri, right? Right? Are we together? This year we are in 1441, Jamani. 1441 Hijrian. If it reaches 28th of Jumad al-Akhirah, 1442, you have still the savings, minimum. Then you're supposed to pay 2.5%. Hope it's clear. Sasa ilikuwa tuweke hapa kama shekhe ndio tuone ground yote. Unacheza ground na kuna wengine wako nyuma. Ala kulli hal.
Okay, hapa ndio questions.
Una lighter note tena.
Okay, the next question goes to Sheikh Jamaluddin. The Sa'il says, Sheikh, I can't quit watching pornographic videos, and that is facilitated by looking at half-naked girls or inappropriately dressed women. Any advice on this behavior? تفضل.
بسم الله الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. The questioner asked that I'm addicted to pornography, and the things that make me watch this dirty stuff is because I see half-naked women. Well, the first solution is stop looking at those women, because قُلِ الْمُؤْمِنِينَ يَغُضُّوا مِنْ أَبْصَارِهِمْ. You see, as a Muslim, you should know your weak points. You should know where shaitan comes and takes advantage, okay? And if you know that that is how I start my footsteps towards that goal, you should avoid it, okay? In fact, hadithi yangu ya wiki, inshallah I'll share it tomorrow, is about getting married, and if you cannot get married, what is the solution? Inshallah, you'll see it on the page. I think the brothers will post tomorrow. So what I advise you is, first of all, you know your weakness. That's one step. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Holy Quran that shaitan has his traps. Before someone commits zina, before someone steals, before someone does something, there are things that lead to that, okay? That's what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, Ya ayyuhalladhina amanu la tattabi'u khutuwati shaitan. Usifate nyayo za shaitan. One thing would lead to another. Now it's very important that you know what is the things that lead you to this. Maybe you might not know, or maybe you might, but after doing thorough research, there is a website. I want you to go and write this website down. Maybe some of you know. www.islam, Islam, I-S-L-A-M, Islam QA, yani question answer. Islam QA. It's a very beneficial website. islamqa.com. Islam question answer, islamqa.com. So one day I was asked that question, and I searched pornography there, and the Sheikh Muhammad Salih al-Munajid, he mentioned what are the things that leads to someone watching these things. One of the things is not only looking at things that would stimulate you, but also some people, whenever they stay alone with their phones, it's a problem. Now, if you know that you have such weakness, whereby ukikaa peke yako na simu ni shida, usikae na simu peke yako. Some people, it all starts with YouTube, and then jokes, and then videos, and then movies, and then. Because for someone to watch this thing nowadays, Sheikh says you don't have to go to these websites. They say they are specific websites. But even movies themselves nowadays, they are pornographic, some of them. It's enough to stimulate you. It's enough for you to do haram. Okay? Now, before, I don't know if you know about the Hollywood, how they have their status. There is 7 years parental guidance rate. I mean, there are some things, if you realize 20 years ago, could not be rated as PG. But today it is rated as PG. Okay? It's like it's normal to watch. So the situation is deteriorating. The situation is deteriorating. And also, the campaign that the Sheikh also says, there are certain people who, whenever they do these bad things, they are raised and they are shown that they are the examples that people should follow. A good example that maybe I can give you is one lady known as Kim Kardashian. This lady, she did nasty stuff, but she's one of the most followed women around the world. In fact, her doing that stuff made her become famous. And in fact, they started up with a show called KU? Mwajua, wachani kujifanya. KUW, something like that. Sorry? Keeping up with the Kardashians. Thank you. Sinasema wajua. That's it. So the Sheikh also said that these people who do, it's subhanallah, the world is changing. Things that you're supposed to be ashamed of is becoming a source of pride. Okay? Now also, and that this leads to whereby people watching this stuff or doing this stuff is being normalized. It's like a normal thing. Okay? If you don't watch them, there's something wrong with you. You see? Now, my advice to such brothers is, please, there are several essays that have been written. Please go back. I cannot tell you everything, but you take that step of researching. Just go islamqa.com and you'll get a lot of answers. I cannot give all the answers, but I think you get a grasp of what the problem is and the solution, inshallah. Barakallah feekum. Wallahu ta'ala.
MashaAllah, shukran, Sheikh. Because Sheikh Jamaluddin is supposed to be in Jamia, we'll give his priority to the questions that he's supposed to answer, inshallah. The next question, Sheikh, another side is asking about how to memorize the Quran, and you are doing a health course. Maybe because of the...
You see, the School of Medicine is known to be a very tough medicine. In fact, I was giving a joke when I was coming. I said, I look at the student, ukiangalia wale watoto wa vibaya wajua wa medicine, they don't have time to wear nice clothes. Why? Because of how busy they are. Not in a bad way. It's because of how busy they are. And also, and something that I realized is, utaona watu ambao wako, you see, university life is a very tough life. And it's also tough for your iman. Why is it tough for your iman? Because some people are used to being controlled. You know, amka wakati fulani, mbona huja. Lakini ukija university, ukiamka usipoamka, uende klasi, usiende klasi, usiku uangalie Netflix, uangalie series, no one cares. Now, this freedom to some people is not good. To some people, it's healthy. It's a place where they can be able to grow and shape themselves. Okay? Now, the School of Medicine is known that people don't have time. People don't have time. Now, I want to give you an example of a brother that I know. He is very intelligent, may Allah bless him. He was the first student in these international schools. Harvard University took him. Kijana hapa Nairobi. When Harvard University took him, he did 3 majors. He specialized in mathematics and physics, and I think another alichukua degree 3. And I asked him, how many hours do you sleep? He said 3 hours is more than enough. Allahumma barik. And in Harvard, asema we have essays na nini. I said I finish 500 book a day, 500 page book a day, wamaliza na nini. While in Harvard, he memorized the Quran. While in Harvard, he was able also to learn the Arabic language and also learn the deen online. He used to have online classes. Nafikiri Sheikh moja alikuwa Masri akimsomea Qurani mpaka sahii ameenda step. I remember I was with him one day and he's in the traffic, yaendesha gari, ama he took a brother as a driver mwendeshe, and he was reciting 5 juz a day. Because he said, I don't have time, I should take advantage of the traffic. Akija nyumbani kwangu, when we talk a few minutes, nikienda chooni ama nikienda wapi, ashatoa msahafu. So what I learned from him is, subhanallah, if you're really committed and you really busy yourself, there's a way out. There's a way out. Now, one of the best ways for you to memorize the Quran is to listen to the Quran. Listening to the Quran helps a lot, especially if it's a qari that you like. Okay? If it's a qari that you like and you enjoy. Sometimes there's one qari whenever I'm down, whenever I want to, cool off my head. There's one qari I like listening to. And also you should have one qari that you should love listening to. Okay? Because Quran is a source of peace. Now, the first step is know that it's possible. It's how you manage your time. Second thing is get a sheikh that you know you'd listen to the Quran very much. Thirdly, I remember when I finished high school and brothers were studying Nairobi University, I remember they used to come a sheikh every Sunday or Thursday. Qari Hussein, does he still come? Qari Hussein no longer comes, eh? Okay. So you can have a weekly program amongst yourselves. Yuko mtu kati yenu alihifadhi Quran. Yuko hayuko? Wako, sio? Wako wengi. Tafuteni hao Wasomali walihifadhi Quran. Kweli? Get one brother, kaa naye, learn the Quran. And this is very important, especially if you're in the school of medicine. Do you know why? Can I tell you why it's very important? It's because whenever you finish university, you'll not have time to learn your deen. Wallahi, you'll never get time to learn your deen. Ukimaliza university, ndugu yangu, muhimu ni kazi. Ukipata kazi, pesa, sasa wajua mtu akipata pesa, naye mengine huja. Wakati huo wote alikuwa hahisi, lakini sasa amefika hapa. Asema nataka mke. Kweli, hivyo ndio ilivyo. Kwa sababu you see when you feel like, and then you go start looking for a wife. And then ukipata mtoto, guess what? Kuna kuja rent. Sorry, ukioa kuna kuja rent. Ukipata mtoto, diapers na maziwa. Ask me, I'm experienced in this. So after that, inakuja ni trying to make ends meet. And Kenya is becoming very expensive day by day. You getting it? You hardly get time. Mimi kama imam wa Jamia Mosque, believe you me, sahi, after 7 years of graduating from Medina University, now is the time I have as being an imam, at least napata time ya kuongeza ilmu. But you see, ukiwa Mombasa, una kazi, you have job from 7 to 5, na kuna da'wa, na ukienda msikiti kuna darsa. So it's like I was all trying to, ile niliyokuja nayo kutoka Madina nisipoteze. You see, but not everyone would have the advantage of becoming an imam. I don't know if you're getting that. No, not everyone will get the advantage of becoming an imam. Sahi is the time that I have. Sahi ndo na time. Me, I have books, 900 volumes in my house. Tafsir, hadith, nani. Mamangu kila saa kija, wewe hii vitabu you are showing off, zitakuingiza motoni, because I don't see you reading. That's what she says. That's what my mom usually used to say. Naambia mama, I bought them because I need. Ambe hiki ushawahi kukisoma? Kaambia hiki sijai. Sasa unkieka nini hapa? You know, mothers, they're the best people in the world. They'll tell you truth the way it is. But now I want to give her the good news that I have the time. Now, sincerely speaking, you will never get time to learn your religion, especially if you're in the school of medicine. Yesterday, I met a brother. Subhanallah, this is just a coincidence that this question I'm asked and what happened last night. Around saa 4 usiku. And be a brother, mimi nimesoma IT, Masters UK in Merudi, but all my friends are doctors. Can you imagine, namuuliza daktari ulipata mwisho kusoma? Anambia Sunday nimeshika mswahafu. Waswali jamaa msikitini na daktari. Asema wallahi nikipata Jumaa ni bahati. Ask people who are practicing doctors. Asema nikipata Jumaa ni bahati. So if you don't make time right now, believe me, you will never get this free time. Na tusidanganyane, hata kama fanya medicine, hata you can make time. True or false? You can make time. And the best thing you can answer on the day of judgment, when Allah asks you, because there will be 4 questions you'll be asked. You know, I always try to give myself hope. Allah kiniuliza siku ya kiyama, Jamal, ubarobaro wako ulitumia nini? Sitasema nilikuwa Abu Huraira High School. Tasema ya Rabbi nilienda kuhifadhi. I'll try to choose the best answer. Ya Rabbi nilienda Madina. So, with you, if you're asked on the day of judgment, what were you doing on the day of, what were you doing, ulitumia vipi ubarobaro wako? The best answer is, ya Rabbi nilikuwa nikisoma dini yako. Hata kama nikifanya medicine, hata, I was making time to study your religion. Start to answer. You see, on the day of, you see about exams, you don't know the questions. But on the day of judgment, you already know the questions. Why don't we prepare the answers? Are we ready to prepare for the answers? Inshallah, barakallahu feekum. Atalta alaykum, Pauline. But it's possible. It's very much possible. Aha, siri ntoboka. Sheikh asema huwa pia mna long holiday. You have long holidays, sio? You can use your time wisely. Yajua yendo yajua fasal bi khabira. He knows. Use your time wisely. Use your time wisely. Wallahi brothers, my biggest motivation was Allah kiniuliza ulitumia vipi ubarobaro wako siku ya kiyama. That would motivate me. Whenever I feel down, whenever sina morali, nasema no, this is an answer on the day of judgment. So have that in mind. You already know the questions you'll be asked. Let's prepare the answers, inshallah. And let's use our time wisely, especially your holidays. There is a way you can memorize the Quran. And kidogo. But make sure daiman wasikiza Quran. Kuna khairi. Find a nice sheikh that you like. Barakallahu feekum. Wallahu ta'ala.
Shukran, Sheikh. The other question, still yours, is about there's a lot of ikhtilaf or controversy regarding pictures. I've seen in one of the things, I think responses the sheikhs were giving, there's a soft copy and the hard copy pictures. Maybe what is your view and maybe your take about taking pictures and maybe, yeah.
Bismillah, alhamdulillah, thana'ulillah, salatu wasalam. I think it's very important that I should not give you my view. I should give you the Sharia's view. Okay? And what I view rightly. First of all, the pictures ambazo ni sanamu, bidun shaki hizi ni haram. And mtu kubandika picture pia ofisini au nyumbani au nini, I think someone should really try his best to avoid that. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu wafukuza malaika. Na malaika ikiwa haingii mahali pana picha iliyobandikwa, you should understand that malaika mahali hayuko, shetani huwa yuko. Okay? Na as much as you can try your best, just make sure avoid sababu za kumfukuza malaika. Because malaika mahali akiwa yuko, shetani hayuko. Mwenyezi Mungu Subhanahu wa Ta'ala anapozungumza juu ya Lailatul Qadr, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim, inna anzalnahu fi Lailatul Qadr wa ma adraka ma Lailatul Qadr khairu min alfi. What happens? Tanazzalu al-malaikatu war-ruhu fiha bi'idhni rabbi min kulli amr. Wakishuka malaika, what happens? Salam hiya hatta matla' al-fajr. So mahali malaika wako, have you ever asked yourself what happens yani malaika wakishuka? Malaika wakishuka kuna rahma, kuna sakina, kuna utulivu. So why should you miss out on this? Secondly, sanamu biduni shak ni haram. Masala iliyotokezea khilaf ni masala ya hizi picture that we're taking now. Wengine wasema la, hadha laysa sura, hadha habsu dhil. Yani ni the image, kivuli ndo inazuia. My view is not important, but I think you should get the scholarly view and go back to the website that I gave it to you, Islam QA, and Google photographs. Just on their search engines, they have almost 9 languages. Click on the English language and the search engine andika photographs. Itatokezea a lot of questions. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Maybe the other questions that others are also asking, there are some scientific questions also coming in Islam and science. You expect this, I hope you expected this since you are coming to College of Health Science. The first question regarding that, I think I will just give it to you all. Number one is, what is the Islamic ruling on organ donation for a brain dead patient, and maybe signing of DNR, do not resuscitate, for also brain dead patients, and lastly, the rule of Islam on contraception.
Should I start with the last? Kwa sababu mashaikh hawana family planning. Okay, let me start with the first question. One thing I want to tell you, in the Islamic field of scholars, there are 2 fields that are the toughest when giving fatwa. Just generally. Why? Because of every now and then vitu vipya vinakuja. The field of medicine and the field of business economics. Kwa sababu every now and then zinakuja new strategies of doing businesses. At the same time also the field of medicine, kwa sababu ulama wanasema mustajiddat, mambo mapya yanakuja kila saa, every now and then kuna ubunifu, watu wanaleta mambo mapya. Tofauti na swala ni ile ile, saum ni ile ile, unless ikikuja once in a while, mtu akiwa ndani ya ndege hajui qibla ataswali vipi. Kama watu washabahatika kwenda mathalan umrah, especially with Saudi Airlines, ukiwa kuna sehemu ya kuswali qibla iko pale, sometimes unaona inaenda hivi na waifuata hiyo qibla. So these are things that comes once in a while, okay? But generally speaking, easy field of medicine and field of business and economics is one of the toughest fields. That's why the scholars used to advise us to be very careful when answering questions from these two fields. Now, when it comes to organ donations, this is something that is new, that did not happen, and the scholars have to give fatwa on that. The scholars have completely differed. Kuna wengine wanakataa kabisa, wanasema mwili si yako na mwili ni amana, na kuna wengine wanaunga mkono mpaka wasema mimi nikifa chukueni my organs. One of them ni Sheikh Abdullah, Dr. Abdullah, ni katika hay'at kibar ulama fi Saudia. He said, when I die, I want my organs to be donated. So they are extremes views. Now I would ask you to go back to association known as KAMPA, Kenya Association of Muslim Medical Professionals. You've heard of them, KAMPA. Now what happened is they had scholars, and this issue was debated, I think it was 2 years ago, in Sarova Hotels, White Sand, Mombasa, and I was there. And there were scholars from Sudan also. So I think you should refer back to them, and inshallah you'll get the right answer, inshallah. Barakallah fikum. And also go to Islam QA, write organ donation, and you'll get views. Barakallah fikum. The second question was resuscitation.
No, there's a form for the people who are brain dead that we don't resuscitate and just leave them if they can support on their own.
Okay. Awasema mtu amekufa and then they're brain dead and then you resuscitate them. I only used to see that in movies nikiwa mdogo. Unaeka hivi sisi alafu unapiga. Is that what you
Yani mtu akiwa brain dead. There is that
form.
There's that form that we are supposed to make.
So what is to resuscitate? Kufufua sio? You see, if you ambaye mko katika university you don't understand the question, mimi mmoja mimi nitafahamu vipi? You see, immediately when he say that, I remember zile titititu alafu napiga stima ile. That's what I understood. How is that?
The question is, unajua we can say somebody is brain dead, and then there is a debate that somebody, is he really dead or is alive or something. The heart is there, but somebody is just dead. Okay. Brain dead, like in. So now the body is alive, the heart is beating and everything. Now there is a form that we call the do not resuscitate form or something like that. So you just give him the basal support to aki survive hivyo, bahati yake, kama hata survive hivyo tu tena.
Okay. I'll try and answer this question. When it comes to someone being considered as brain dead, aiza kutolewa hukumu huyu mtu amekufa ama hajakufa, hence aiza kusaidiwa ama asisaidiwe? Is that the question? Okay, there is this scholar, Dr. Muhammad Sheikh labda mjua, he was one of our scholars in Medina, Dr. Muhammad Mukhtar al-Shanqiti. His PhD risala was on this, the field of medicine. And he mentioned this issue on the Islamic view of that, and he had the opinion ya kwamba mtu isizimwe zile supporting machines, isizimwe na ibakie vile vile. And this is the view also of Catholics. And he gave a case of something that happened and within the Catholics, I think it happened in Italy. And there was a lady who was a girl who was in a coma for 17 years, and she came back after 17 years. And the Vatican, they give their fatwas also. The Vaticans, they refused. Wasema hakuna, she must be given that life support machine. And subhanAllah, after 17 years, she woke up. And currently, there is a prince in Saudi who had an accident. He is the son of Al-Amir Talal, the grandson of Talal bin Abdul Aziz. There is Walid. You know Al-Walid, the rich, the billionaire. That's his nephew. So this billionaire, what he did is, he gave a car as a gift to his nephew. Alimpatia, I think Lamborghini or something, alimpatia as a gift. So katika ile kijana was overspeeding, akapata accident. So kijana yuko koma mpaka leo. Na mpaka sasa ukigoogle, if you Google, you find the sleeping prince or something. I used to hear of the sleeping princess, but this is the sleeping prince, Saudi prince. Mpaka sasa, but subhanallah, 3 months ago, he started moving his fingers. He started moving his fingers. And he still lives with life machine. He still is supported by that life machine. Now, here in Kenya, there is a problem. Ukisema mtu aishi kwa life support machine, hiyo bili itakayokuja, mtakuwa maskini si wewe na kabila lako yote. Kweli. That's the reality. Because the bill is unbearable. In fact, we have a Majlis Ulama in Jamia Mosque, and inshallah we'll be having a meeting. And one of the things that I raised that should be the agenda in the meeting is it about time where Muslims can have Islamic insurance? I don't know if is it about time when Muslims should be allowed to have Islamic insurance or normal health insurance? Is it about time? Because insurance inakatazwa katika Uislamu unless ni dharura, na NHIF inakubaliwa because it's the responsibility of the government. Okay, kidogo nitatoka out of topic kwa sababu it's recorded, people need to understand. You see, why insurance is not allowed in Islam is because there is what we call gharar. Al-gharar is what is known as uncertainty. It's not clear, it's like gambling. You see, now anything with uncertainty brings a problem. Gambling imekatazwa kwa sababu there is uncertainty. Pesa zitapotea na mtu hajui bahati nasibu. Si wanafunzi wengine hubahatika wakapata sport pesa, wengine wakakosa. So the same thing happens in insurance. I might pay the insurance company money for years and I'll not benefit from them. Or maybe I might pay them and then in 3 months, la samahalla, something happens and then they end up paying millions of hospital bills. Now this uncertainty is not allowed. But when the government is health insurance comes from the government, it's not a problem because the money goes to the treasury, what we can call Baitul Mal. Okay? And when the money comes from the Baitul Mal and iwewe usipofaidika hakuna shida, imeenda kwa mali ya umma. Na wewe ukifaidika mathalan wakalipa bili kubwa, it's the duty of the government to take care of its citizens. I think you're getting that. So NHIF is not much of a problem, but NHIF cannot cover most of the costs. And right now, what we need is to have a meeting and maybe a report or something, or research to be presented. Is it about time where Muslims in Kenyans, they need to have health insurance, even if it's haram? Je, imefika marhala ya dharura? Now, I'll also refer you back to the website. Andika tu katika engine, andika brain dead or something like that. And it's a long debate. It's a long debate. And personally, I don't have a clear answer. On the organ donation, I don't have a clear answer. And I told you 2 fields who was in a shida. Economy and business and economics and also medicine. These are 2 fields that are very complicated and I cannot give you a straightforward answer. Wallahu a'lam. Contraception. Okay, contraception, they are natural contraceptions ikiwa mtu yafanya because ni dharura. Kwa sababu there are some women Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed them, they are very fertile. And hii ni amri kutoka Mtume sallam, tukioa tuoe wanawake ambao wajua kupenda na wajua kuzaa. kabisa. Kwa nini? Kwa sababu Mtume sallallahu alaihi wasallam asema tazawwaju alwalud alwadud fa inni mukathirun bikum alumama yawm alqiyamah. Now when it comes to contraceptives, it's a very tricky question. But sometimes inakuwa contraception mtu atumie inakuwa ni wajibu. Inakuwa ni wajibu mtu kutumia contraceptives, and I'll give you two examples. The first example is there is a case of a woman who she gave birth in 5 years consecutively. So she ended up missing 6 Ramadans. She could not fast. Ima amejifungua ama yuanyonyesha. Na kama tunavyosema Mombasa, mwanamume hakumpa break. So it's something very natural. Wanawake wengine Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala amewaumba. Now in such situations, I remember I had the fatwa of Sheikh Abdurrahman al-Qahtani, Journey of Faith, maybe some of them know. He said in such situation, mwanamke amekosa 6 Ramadans, and she was asking the Sheikh, can I use contraception? And sometimes kwako inakuwa ni wajib, because you cannot compromise Ramadan. Ramadan ni katika ruknu min arkanil Islam. There are things you can compromise, but not arkanul Islam. You can never compromise the pillars of Islam. Now, having missed 6 Ramadans, that's how many days? 180 days she has to fast. Na akaambiwa use contraceptives for some times. So this is an example that I'm giving you. Another example that I'm giving you ambayo ulama wametaja is health issues. Kuna wanawake wengine hawezi kuzaa mpaka wafanye operation. You know that, see? It's just that's how Allah has created them. Though sometimes there are cases whereby the man, mwanamume mwenye hataki mwanamke azae, asema atoke kwa operation. Why? Asema no, I don't want my wife to go through that pain, nanin. This is nonsense. The reason why I'm saying this is because mwanamke akisikia uchungu wa kutoka mtoto anakuwa ni mwenye kumthamini yule mtoto. Kuna hikma. Why is she attached to her child? Because she knows how much she sacrificed to get this child. You see, some men ambao pia ni wajinga kweli. I know some men, you know, there are funny cases. Ukiwa imamu utakuja kuyaona. Some men hawataki wake zao wanyonyeshe. Yes. I think you know why. I wish I was off camera. Asema Sheikh staki flat tires. So this is very bad. This is very bad. And this is ni mtu ambaye hajui thamani. Me, I don't find that man values a woman. Because yeye yataka ile physical feature na nini sibadilike. And as a man, subhanallah, wewe ikiwa umemwoa mwanamke watakawe vile, yani figure 8 asibadilike, then what kind of a man you have? If your wife would have stretch marks because of the children she bore because of you, you're supposed to love her more and respect her. Lakini wengine wanaona wanawake ni kama kifaa, hataki abadilike, atakawe vile. Sasa hii wewe fanya bidii inge peponi utapata hurul ain. No, I'm telling you issues ambayo, if kwani yeye hazeki, si yeye pia yuazeka. Yeah, your wife is accommodating with you, she's keeping up with you. Some men, yani subhanallah, mume yofuta sigara na nini, ukikaa ukizungumza na yule mwanamume his breath, and then you wonder, huyu mke wake yakana namna gani? But you see, she's able to accommodate you as a husband. Kwa nini wewe akibadilika kidogo, mvi kija kidogo, nyele zikipungua, nini hutaki? Wallahi Sheikh, kuna mushkila, because the mentality that we have, we can't even blame the Westerns because of this. Some people have this imaginary, I don't know, picture of what a woman should be. Hatakani kubadilika, hatakani kuwa hivi. How would you grow? How would the love grow? If you only want her to be perfect. When someone is not perfect and you still love that person, that is true love. Generally speaking, ikija katika contraceptives, ikiwa inamdhuru mwanamke afya yake, kama for example, I give an example, mwanamke lazima afanye operation. It reaches a time mwanamke akifanya operation zaidi ya mara 5 au 6, it becomes a problem. It becomes a problem. Now, such situations are exceptions. Using contraceptives, the best contraceptive is the one that you can use is al-azl, that was used by Sahabas. They كان يقول جابر بن عبد الله رضي الله عنه in Sahih Muslim, he says, كنا نعزل والقرآن ينزل. كنا نعزل, we used to ejaculate outside when the ejaculation comes, and Quran yanzil, yet Quran was being revealed. Because, why did he say this term? Is because the Prophet ﷺ does not know what's happening between a man and a woman. But Allah knows, right? If that was wrong, and Quran was still being revealed, ingeshuka aya kufanyaje? Kuwakanya na kuwakataza. But Quran haikuwakataza. So in fact, mimi, that's what I advise students wakioana university. Vijana, wasichana, wawane, na kama imebakia 1 year, 2 year wamalize, let them not use these contraceptives. Kwa sababu kama mtu hajapata mtoto na aanze kutumia contraceptive, it's problematic. It's problematic. So waweza kufanya Quran ile azl kama vile Quran ilivyokuja, afwan kama Jabir bin Abdullah radhiyallahu anhu alivyosema, and then mukigraduate sasa mpate watoto mkitaka mapacha. Sio? Barakallahu fikum. So the contraceptives ni kwa dharura, lakini mwanamke kukataa, sijui nataka masters, nataka career, you know, mtoto amefika miaka 7, miaka 10, anambia nataka mtoto wa pili, ile mimi I'm doing my career na nini. Ndugu yangu, usijisumbue na mwanamke kama huyo, tafuta mke wa pili. So, and if you come with a case, if any brother would come with a case to me, he wants a second wife, and they ask him what's the reason, he gives me that reason, there's a long list I'll give him. Tambia chagua. Barakallahu fik. Nafikiri hivyo. Ili kupatia nafasi. Okay, there is a way pia mwanamke yuweza kuavoid kujifungua. So naturally, subhanallah, mwanamke akinyonyesha hapati periods, na pia akinyonyesha kama hampati mtoto chakula for 2 years, yamnyonyesha tu, ni vigumu apate mimba. Ni vigumu apate mimba. Why? Because yeye mwenyewe yamnyonyesha mtoto. If that child is only feeding or being breastfed, unless mashallah she's extremely fertile, you never know. But mostly, hata kina mama nafikiri mkiwauliza nyumbani, mwanamke mwenye kunyonyesha ni vigumu apate mimba. Allahu ta'ala alam.
MashaAllah, I think Sheikh is going for Asr prayers at Jamia.
Give a freelance one question. Give them the microphone.
Yeah, MashaAllah. So we'll accept one question from our brothers and one question from our sisters. Brothers. Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Maybe the question will be a clarification on the last question which you are answering on contraceptives. So for the matter of dharura, as you've mentioned, be it religious or maybe, yes, health. So in terms of dharura, for example, a student is being in school, a dharura, maybe university or work. Can work be considered a dharura? Because most people out there will be like, oh, me I want 3 children, me I want 5 children. But for example, if they are continuing maybe to propagate their normal sexual activities and without a contraceptive, so as in, is work considered a dharura, or school by itself, can it be considered dharura?
Not all schools, maybe medical school.
I think the Mufti gave the answer, that's enough. I won't say work is a darura or school per se is a darura. Normally I do encourage parents to get involved. If someone would get support from their parents, and while financially, it's not, I don't know kama nyinyi, but I was supported. But I was having a child while I was still studying, and I had the support of my wife's family and my family. Now after starting life, kuja da'wa nini kazi, you end up moving forward and you grow. So I really ask you that if it's 1 year imebakia, graduate or something, there is a way. But me, I would not advise people wacheleweshe kupata mtoto, because ndugu yangu, kila unapopata mtoto baraka huja. That's from, I have 4 daughters. When each daughter came, she came with her own khair. Wallahi, she came with her own khair. So, and it's not my words, that's the words of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. So you have to believe in what the religion says, and kila mtoto huja na riziki yake. Okay, I will not say madamu nimekwambia hivyo watoto wafatane kama ngazi. That's not what I'd say. But at the same time, I really don't find work as a darura. And from the religious perspective, from the health perspective, hizi ndo dharura. Sheria ni kwamba mtu apate watoto wengi. Okay? Watoto wakija wengi ni khairi na baraka. Fa inni mukathirun bikumul umama yawmal qiyamah. Okay? But at the same time, you need to balance things out, and you can't say I want to focus on my career. Why is someone going to work if you don't want children? Who are you working for? In fact, children will be a source of motivation for you. Children will be a source of blessing for you. Children will be a source of happiness. Wallahi, you're stressed nyumbani. Ukija nyumbani mtoto akwambia baba, you forget everything. Wallahi. And inshallah you'll get that experience. I'm sure. Allah Ta'ala. One question, and I think it's Salah Kareem. Just one question.
Yeah, just one question.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My question still on the pictures. I was referring to the online videos, because some ulamas are against taking videos even if it's for religious purposes. Yeah.
Okay, you'll still find the fatwa in the next same website, but when it comes to videos or pictures, whatever is haram remains to be haram. Without a doubt, if you're going to take a picture of naked people or something that is haram, or you're promoting any vices, whether it's a photograph, whether it's a video, it automatically becomes haram. That's without a doubt. But it remains when something that is not haram. You see, there were things that photographs will be seen as haram years. 20 years ago is not that way. Sivyo Sheikh. Miaka 20 iliyopita nafikiri ulikuwa huko. No, definitely ulikuwa huko. Because Sheikh, mimi nikiwa nasoma na hifadhi Quran, Sheikh nilikuwa nikisikiza khutba zake. Sheikh, miaka 20 iliyopita picha hukumu yake na ukiangalia na leo nafikiri kuna tofauti. Ile tashaddud watu walikuwa nayo miaka 20 si kama ya sasa. Yeah. I'll give you an example. There's one great scholar that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me to meet in person. And I really love him, and may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant him husnul khatima. I don't know if you've heard of Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan. Maybe some of you have heard of him. Now Sheikh Salih al-Fawzan, whenever he has the view of photographs being haram. But when he came to the university, we took a lot of photos of him, and the media were taking a lot of photos of him and videos. Now, the situation, subhanallah, with time change. Now, one thing we should agree, whatever is haram remains to be haram. Okay? Now, let's talk of the things that are mubah. If that picture you're going to hang it there, automatically it's going to be haram. What remains is the normal photographs. Some people go to an extent of having photographs for family memories or something like that. I know scholars, amongst them Sheikh Al-Allama, who's still alive. I was blessed to study under him. Sheikh Abdul Muhsin Al-Abbad, he's a great scholar in Medina. Even if when he was going for Hajj and Umrah, he was asked a photo, he said, what is it for? He refused. You see? Now, wako watu wana msimamo. One of the shuyukhs that has that view currently is my Sheikh, Sheikh Muhammad Al-Mukhtar Al-Shankiti. I remember tulikuwa darsa, tumekaa msikitini, Masjid Rasulullah sallam, and almost 3,000-4,000 people were seated. We are writing notes from whatever he was saying. And someone took a photo of him with a picture. And he said, Imsaha, wallahi lan usamihuka amam Allah. Futa, sitakusamehe mbele ya Mwenyezi Mungu. And he deleted it. Now the views differs. Wako scholars kama Sheikh Ibn Uthaymeen, I think you know him, rahimahullah, his view on the photographs, the videos also. But if anything that would promote a vice, ama shari, without a doubt it's haram. I think you've understood that. I think we should go back to the website, Islam QA, Sheikh Muhammad Salih Al-Munajjid, and you'll get a lot of answers. Afwan, I wish to stay with you more, and inshallah, I promise you to not be the last time I'll be here. Na Sheikh ukinchelesha tabidu mpanishe ndudhu. So, the brother is requesting, they say sometimes people are stressed with the tough situations in life. You know, when you're at home and you know you're used to your parents, but here when you come, it's all for yourself. You know, you meet people, you should learn how to live with them. And that's how life is. That's how life is. Now, how do you deal with the tough situations that sometimes you miss home, you miss the food of home, nyumbani chakula cha mama, cha mzee. Sometimes you miss, you know, subhanallah, even the environment. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, Niko Nairobi University. I remember I wanted to do my master's and I went to Nairobi University in Mombasa. And when I went there and the situation that I saw, first of all, the smell that I was welcomed with, and the mandhar that I saw, watu wamekaa wawili wawili kwa ngazi, mathna. I just turned back and said, "Be masters wacha ikae." I could not bear it. So I can understand the fitna, the tough situations, you trying to struggle to grasp your religion. And whenever unaposhika dini, people misunderstand. In fact, sometimes what makes it even more painful, the people who misunderstand you most are your fellow Muslims. You know, that's very painful. If an non-Muslim misunderstands you, you won't bother, sema hafahamu. But a fellow Muslim, inachoma ndugu yangu, niulize mimi ni ustadhi. Waenda kumwambia mtu kitu ambaye shekhi ya kuhusu nini? Basi unamezea kwa sababu mtume aliudhiwa, sio? But we don't stop doing da'wah. We don't stop doing da'wah. Now, my advice to you is when things turn out to be tough, make time for the Quran. Wallahi thumma wallahi. There is no better way of relieving your stress better than the Quran. You will never find. Listen to the Quran. Recite the Quran. Listen. These are the words of Allah. Especially try, go that extra mile. Jaribu kujua tafsiri hii Mwenyezi Mungu yojaribu kuniambia nini. Imagine today one of the world leaders, let's say Erdogan. Let's say for example Erdogan writes you a letter in Turkish. But this is a special delivery from His Excellency the President of Turkey, Erdogan, wrote this letter to you. And he wrote it in Turkish. How much effort would you make to go and understand? Tafuta mtu ajua Kituruki. Would you or would you not? Even if it's Google translation, each word, you'll do that. True or false? True. How about a message from Allah? You don't want to know what Allah is telling you? Doesn't it not bother you that Allah is talking to you and you have no clue? Haikuletei tabu, husikii kitu ndani ya moyo, dhamira yako au nafsi yako haikukeri. Allah yokuambia kitu na hata hujui Mwenyezi Mungu aliyekuumba yokuambia nini. Allah has a message for you and you have no clue what Allah is telling you. And to make it worse, you don't even care, you don't even want to know. Make time. If you're stressed, make time and recite the book of Allah. Wallahi thumma wallahi, you would never get a makhraj, a way out better than the Quran. Soma Quran, jisomee Quran. Alafu, last but not least, try to choose the right company. When I say the right company, it doesn't mean those friends are going to be awliya or are going to be like the Sahabas. No, people have shortcomings. You should accommodate each other. If the team here would not, definitely they have differences, the way they view things, but if you would not accommodate each other, hamutafika hapa, this would not have happened. So try to find friends about who are struggling and trying the way you are. And you push on each other. Quran and the right company, the right friends. Pia kuwa na ibada, amka usiku, swali, funga Jumatatu, Alhamisi. Kando na hayo, mshukuru Mwenyezi Mungu. You see, you keep on looking things that Allah has not given you. Why don't you start looking things that Allah gave you? In the school of medicine, ukitoka hapa, uona watu wagonjwa. And you have health. Uona watu waliokushinda umri, waliokushinda vyeo, waliokushinda mali, wateseka kuliko wewe. Na wewe watembea muafa. Je, hiyo haikui ni ibra? Watoka nje, uona watu wametoka mbali kwa sababu ya umaskini, wanalala hapa nje because hawana fare kwenda kurudi. Na wewe, alhamdulillah, umepata rizq. Let us be thankful. Because, let me tell you, Iblis, alayhi la'natullah, one of his biggest tactics is to always show you what you don't have. This is one of the biggest ways shaitans gives us depression and how we get to not thank Allah. Atakuonesha kitu ambayo hauna. Hold back. Angalia ni vitu ngapi unavyo. Na Mwenyezi Mungu hana chuki na wewe. Kama kitu fulani ina khairi na wewe angekupa. Wengine labda wajaribu kuoa hapa. Hali hairuhusu. Muna shida, hamwezi, mwataka mke. With me, I was looking for a wife for 6 years. Nataka kuoa. Kila nikifika nyumbani, I don't know if my sister is here. Kila nikifika nyumbani naambia mama, nataka kuoa. Naambia mwanangu, wewe ukienda kule, alif ba mke. Ta mke. Kila holiday ukija wataka mke. But you see, Allah, I'm telling you, this is something very personal. I'm telling you this because maybe you can use this as an example in things that you're missing in your lives. 6 years, mimi nataka kuoa, mama kanambia no. Mpaka nilipofika miaka 25. From 19 years to 25 years. Kaambia mama miaka 6, I did 6 hajj. In fact, it made me start, I started doubting. Nimesimama Arafa mara 6. Yani dua zangu zimeenda wapi? Nataka mke. But subhanallah, I was thankful that I married at 25 and not 19. For 2 reasons. And maybe Allah would keep on revealing for me why He did this for me. First reason is I saw brothers who got married while they were studying in Medina. They ended up dropping out because they could not balance the two. So they had to pay bills and everything. They left Medina University. People who were brighter than me. I know one brother, alikuwa ni Yahudi, he was a Jew. He became a Muslim from Australia. When he became a Muslim, it was a problem. And I've never in my life seen someone who's more hardworking than him in the whole of Medina University. We are almost, 70,000, 80,000 students maybe. I've never seen. And when he got married and the situation, he could not make ends meet and he dropped. And then I said, Alhamdulillah, me pia ningeoa, I would have dropped out. So Allah knows what's best for me and what's the right time for me. The second thing, being 19-year-old is not the same when you're 25 years old. The way you view, the way you reason, the way you see things differs. Mi labda ingekuwa miaka 19 nimeoa, maybe by the time I was 22 I would have divorced. True or false? True, mwajuaje? I'm saying Allah knows this. See? So, subhanallah, I've seen brothers, because of their young age sometimes, they're becoming impatient. Ndugu yangu ukitaka kuoa yataka subra. Tena wanawake wa siku hizi yataka nguvu, yataka moyo na nguvu za jirani. Ushasikia? So, my advice to you is, there is a right time for everything. There is a right time for everything. Usiangalie watu wana magari, wana nini. Mimi, it took me 14 years to get my first car. I was patient for 14 years. Yani mpaka babangu akanionea huruma, akaambia mwanangu chukua hii sadaka. Nikachukua, ni gari yenyewe ndogo Vitz. Lakini it matters and it helps me. But I know ikifika mahali, I'll get a Harry, I'll get a Mercedes, itakuja tu. Ikiwa ni khairi yangu nitapata. Kama si khairi yangu sitaki, baki huko. Yeah. So my advice to you is, there is a right time for everything. Don't be in a hurry. Don't try to live a life that you don't have. Don't try to impress people. Don't try to prove a point. Who are you proving a point to? You are a slave of Allah. Allah gave you, say, Ya Rab lakal hamd. And I promise you, if you thank Allah for the little, itakuja kubwa and kubwa and kubwa. Big things will come on your way. But if you don't appreciate that little you have, believe me, you'll end up even missing out on that little. Some people are denied things for their own good. Kuna watu wakipewa hukufuru, Mwenyezi Mungu huwajalia wakawa wagonjwa wasipate afya. Akipata afya huyu mbio enda kumuasi Mwenyezi Mungu. Wengine wajaliwa umaskini kwa sababu huyu akipata pesa atakuwa na kibri, atakuwa kosea watu. Wengine Mwenyezi Mungu watapigania viti, Mwenyezi Mungu hapati uongozi kwa sababu wakiwa viongozi watakuwa madhalimu. So sometimes Allah denies us things, not sometimes, most of the times, Allah denies us things for our own good. So there's time for everything. So, if I'm going to live, always have this in mind. There's time for everything. So, there's a question I haven't been asked. There's a brother, I think in the car was asked. One brother asked, Asema Sheikh, I see a good sister, and I don't want, now I'm still young, I'm not in a position to get married. Je, naweza kubook mapema, niweze kuzungumza naye?
It's 402,
Khalas, I think you know the answer. You know the answer. I gave you the answer. There's time for everything. It will reach a time you'll look back in your life, it's like, kweli Mwenyezi Mungu amenifikisha hapa. I know this because on Friday, Jamia Mosque, I look behind and I see 12,000 people. And I can't believe it that Mwenyezi Mungu amenifikisha hapa. And while I was studying in Medina, I never thought I could stand in front of people, ever in my life. In fact, the reason why I went to Medina is to study Deen for my own self, not because of that. So, mutafika, inshallah. Semeni inshallah, jamaa. Naomba Allah afungule milango ya khair, inshallah. Vijana, subra, uraru, taisha.
MashaAllah, takbir. There are some questions, though we are filtered. There are some questions for the sheikhs that we have filtered. I think you can post it maybe somewhere else. Utakuja hapa. We have also very important questions. Number one. Question number one for the Sheikh is about, this is also contemporary issues. cryptocurrency. I think some of us are customers there, our clients. Sheikh, what is the Islamic ruling with respect to cryptocurrency, Sheikh?
You buy online, no?
Yeah, digital money, banking and everything. Bitcoin is a Bitcoin.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Alhamdulillah wa salatu wa salamu ala ashrafil anbiya wa mursalin wa ala alihi wa ashabihi ajma'in wa man tabi'ahum bi ihsanin ila yawmiddin, amma ba'd. On the issue ambayo which has been asked, I think Sheikh Jamaluddin summarized somehow in matter pertaining to businesses, economy, and medicine, and the ever new things which come into the market, and especially in business. And one of them is, I don't know if this cryptocurrency is around, but there was Bitcoin. And you know, in Islam, business, although it's something which you agree in between, but it should be clear from the word go. Things which involve al-gharar, uncertainty, al-gharar, or things which involve not knowing, or things which you cannot see, are things which Islam has forbidden us to enter. As scholars on matters pertaining to economy or business here in Nairobi, those who are well-versed, specialized, when this Bitcoin issue, I think it came 2 or 3 years ago, they look into it, and there are so many things which are un-Islamic. Therefore, if cryptocurrency is similar to Bitcoin, therefore it will go under the same rule that it is not allowed for us to enter into such a business. Wallahu a'lam.
Shukran. The next question is Sheikh, how and when to find a spouse without indulging in haram? Is it too early to start now, even though you have a couple of years to finish the university?
Naona in most cases people are tired of being alone. Everybody should have a partner, so that we can get rid the so many evils in between. But you know, in this issue there is no shortcut answer. Maybe this answer can be applicable to me, not applicable to you. And it depends on so many other environment factors within us. There are people I know in the 80s, late 80s, and some of them are already doctors in Mombasa, and some of them are lecturers in UON, who married their peers while in college. It means that immediately they finish A level. One of them, I think, entered UON to do medics in 1985. And while studying in 3rd or 2nd year, he got a sister doing dentistry, and they married. And they were happy while in college, and after that also. And then another one also married while in college, 2nd year. He was doing BCom then, 3-year course. But the majority of us, maybe we wish, the sister will wish that she get that dream
boy so that she can be married and get rid of the zina thought. And also the brothers think. And sometimes things delay for our own good. I think Sheikh Jamaluddin gave an instance of himself. And sometimes it is good for you. I know once there was a brother, I think was it in 1989, while studying in India. He was doing medicine. And then things were very cheap in India. Therefore, the brother who used to work in Saudi used to cater for his well-being. And then he proposed. He said, you know, he was there. He went there in 1981, and it has taken long. He has to do BSc, and then he started medicine. And he told him, whatever you bring me, you know, he opened up. You know, I want to get married. I don't want anything extra from you. Whatever you used to bring a lump sum. For example, annually, if you're bringing, you are sending me 20,000 Indian rupees, send me the same. I'll be able to manage with the setup then. The brother say, you want to marry? Instead of sending lump sum, even he cut. If he used to send 2,000 rupees, he was sending 1,000 rupees, so that, therefore the brother was stressed, and he had to leave college. He was, I think, in 4th year, only 1 year remaining. He had to leave here. He came back to Kenya. Therefore, everyone has his or her own situation. But there's a point you reach. You think that you are at the threshold. 1 minute more in UON, you'll enter into sin. You talk to your parent, and the parents are willing to support. Because you know now the parent will not be supporting you only, they'll be supporting and you are both in UON. For example, if she's not studying, is easier. Because there'll be no fees for 2, fees for 1. Therefore, if the family is able to support, it will be an extra point for them, because that will be also kept with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. For they have done something which is good for their son. Therefore, if you think you are ready, and everything is set, then you can start the process moving. If you think you are not ready, maybe after 4 years you'll be ready. You know, you can wait till, because sometimes finding a spouse is stressful. Sometimes finding a spouse is stressful. Therefore, in order to remove the 2 stresses, stress of finding a spouse and the stress while studying, leave one and then remain with one. Once you are through with this one, inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will assist you with the other. But it also needs patience. Because sometimes you are almost in the verge. Sema, umemhusudu na amekuhusudu. You think she is your dream girl, and she also think you are the dream boy. Now you can wait for no longer. And sometimes things happen the opposite. I know while in Jamia, we used to get so many cases, family cases. Propose. And then the family refused. You know, we have those issues. Huyu ni kabila, na huyu ni kabila, huyu ni business, huyu ni tajiri, huyu ni maskini. Sasa those issues were raised and the parent refused. Lakini binti alikuwa amefall yani. Anasema halali, hali, yani yuko down kabisa. Kwa hivyo she went to the boy. Asema, wanitaka? Sema yeye nakutaka. Waniusudu? Ndio nakusudu. Kwa hivyo, lakini wazazi wako wamekataa. Unanitaka? Asema ndio. Asema basi wewe dunga kiboli kisha utauzwa for free yani. We have reached that extent. And these are,
si kwamba ni non-Muslims, Muslims. Yule kijana akawa na wasiwasi mambo ya kudunga kiboli outside marriage. Kwa hivyo akarudi kwa mashekhe kutaka afanyeje, na shekhe pale jamii akamwambia achana na huyu binti, utapata mwingine, usiingie katika haramu. Ukisha kuingia katika haramu mara moja, then kwa hivyo everything will come in its due time. Ikiwa you are ready, well and good, go ahead. If you are not ready, wait till you are ready. And inshallah, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, because of your intention, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will ease your path towards that. Another question is pertaining to journalism. Journalism for our sisters. Doing journalism for women or for sisters. Journalism is just like other causes. You know, they are double-edged. But their causes for sisters is more double-edged. And one of them is journalism, because it entails so many things. Even sometimes there are perception from the sisters themselves, from the sisters themselves. And in most of the cases, except to those whom Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has shown mercy. But to most of the cases, you find that they fall into one sin or the other. For example, you are supposed to travel in order to gather news somewhere. You'll travel alone, either outside the country or in another county or in another town. And then in most of TV station, they need you to look beautiful. They need you to look beautiful. Therefore, you are not allowed, and even in the contract, if you are TV anchor or whatever, then lazima uonekane kwamba wewe ni msupa, so that watu wawe wata tune in every time. Kwa hivyo, in most of the cases, they'll appear full makeup, sometime without hijab, and even, in some of even Muslim-owned stations, whereby the sisters, they go fully makeup. We did hope that the Muslim stations will have a leeway to practice Islam, whereby you'll go there as you are. The makeup is for your husband. You dress up for your husband just like the husband dress up for you. Just like Ibn Abbas radiyallahu anhuma said, he used to dress up and say, why do you dress up? I dress up for my wife, because my wife dresses up for me. Therefore the makeup, the misk, the perfume, the scent, udi nyumbani, si kwenye TV station as a TV anchor and so on and so forth. But if you are able to fully practice Islam to the latter while working, then there's no problem. Therefore, make sure before you enter into a cause, look at the pros and cons, and look at the result therein. Where are you going to end up once you finish that cause? So that you don't spend 4 years doing a cause, and then at the end of the cause you find that there's no place for you. Very important.
A question maybe from the brothers. Yes. I think this is the final question, please.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Sheikh, my question is, maybe you have a non-Muslim friend, let's say he's your classmate, and he lost one of his family. Are you able to send condolences either through phone or maybe you meet with him and you condole him? The other question is, are you able to contribute towards some coins? Thank you. Yani you give him some coins. Yeah.
Maybe quickly on that, in one word. Yeah. Alhamdulillah. Sending condolences, whether when you meet him or you send through phone, pole, Mwenyezi Mungu akupatie subira, there's no problem. What is not allowed is to pray for the dead. Pole na Mwenyezi Mungu amweke pema pamoja na wema peponi jannatul firdausil al. That is not allowed. Lakini kumpatia pole as a friend and muamala na wasiokuwa waislamu, there's no problem at all yani. And if coin, sometimes it is doubtful, giving coin, you can give a thing in form of material yani, which is halal yani. Lakini if you are contributing to the food which will be eaten, cooking the food, they say they're cooking rice or they're going to buy meat, mutton, or beef, and then you contribute, there's no problem. But if you know that contribution will go to buying pork, well in advance, or to buy beer, then it's not allowed. Sheikh is asking from the other sister side, maybe one question. Is there a question? Yeah.
No, my God. There is Nene? Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. If a Muslim, for example, has started praying the Salatul Duha and leaves, is it a sin or not a sin?
The question is on Salatul Duha, and I do hope that everybody knows about Salatul Duha. Everybody knows about, I should go directly to answering the question or... No? Everybody knows about Salatul Duha. Salatul Duha usually starts 10 minutes after sunrise, and it ends around 15 minutes before Zawal. And there are virtues of praying Salatul Duha. If you pray in a jama'ah and then you sit where you are making adhkar till the time of sunrise, and then wait at least 10 minutes or 15 minutes, and then you pray 2 rakah, it is as if you have gone for Hajj and Umrah. And the second time for Salat, best time for Salatul Duha, if you have not done what you're supposed to do, then it's around when the sun is very hot, maybe in Nairobi around 10, 11. Salatul Duha is a sunnah. Just like maybe sometime you used to fast Mondays and Thursdays, you used to fast the white days, you used to maybe pray witri, and then you leave. There is a perception going around that if you start a sunnah, if you leave, then you are doomed. No, this perception is not there. It is not good to start something which is good and then to leave on the way.
But if you leave, you're not sinning yani. Because Salatul Duha is a sunnah. The intention should be, when you start something good, it should continue. And hence the Prophet ﷺ said, the best act is the act which is small but continuous. Therefore, if you have the intention of praying Salatul Dhuhr and you have started, and then it comes a time whereby you stop because of one reason or the other, you have not got sin. But you should renew your intention in order to continue on the same. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala enable us to embark on a path of doing all these sunnahs and admit us to the loftiest stations in paradise.
MashaAllah. Thank you, Sheikh Muhammad Abdullah. The program. I was asked to give apologies on behalf of the committee that they are the sheikhs who are supposed to also come here today, but because of other engagements and some other inevitable circumstances, they couldn't make it. Number one is Sheikh Muhammad Abdu Umal, who was a confirmed speaker and also part of the panelists, but he couldn't make it. He sent his apologies and he has really contributed to also this particular Da'wah conference. We thank him and Al-Ihsan organization on that. Now, it is my duty to welcome Brother Asim to give us a vote of thanks, and then we invite Brother Yahya to close for us with some recitations. Mudathir will do the recitation.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على سيد المرسلين محمد بن عبد الله صلوات ربي وسلامه عليه. First of all, I would like to thank the shuyukhs who came and gave us very knowledgeable lectures, advices, and fatwas. May Allah bless them. Secondly, I would like to also thank the sponsors of the event, Horizontv, for making time. We are not paying them anything, but they still made time, and good quality videos. You can even stream on YouTube online. Thirdly, I would also like to thank the committee. It was a well-organized event. The choice of sheikhs were good. So it was very knowledgeable to all of us. And lastly, but not least, to thank all of you for making time out of your busy schedules and coming here to bless this event. Shukran wa jazakumullahu khairan wa hadha assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Brother Mudathir.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. أفحسبتم أنما خلقناكم عبثا وأنكم إلينا لا ترجعون. فتعالى الله الملك الحق لا إله إلا هو رب العرش الكريم. ومن يدع مع الله إلها آخر لا برهان له به فإنما حسابه عند ربه إنه لا يفلح الكافرون. وقل رب اغفر وارحم وأنت خير الراحمين. صدق الله العظيم.
MashaAllah, takbir. We are leaving for prayers. the same venue for Asr Jama'ah, inshallah, for brothers. Brothers, Jama'ah is a must.
سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. Basi ya Chiromo pia iko.
Unataka usaidizi au